Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to this episode of our show. This is your host, Keith Doherty. Today our special guest is top real estate broker Kristin Daly of the Daly Group at Keller Williams Realty based out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Kristin began her career in real estate 10 years ago with Keller Williams. Originally from Chicago, she started real estate as a hobby to meet people when she moved to Philadelphia. Since then, she has grown organically to create the Daly Group, a top-producing team with a trend in luxury, serving all of Philadelphia and the suburbs. The Daly Group is comprised of 10 agents on track to close $40 million plus in 2016 while setting high goals to double the team in size and volume, $80 to $100 million in 2017. As an associate broker, Kristin was on HGTV's House Hunters and My First Place, featured in Top Agent and 5-Star Professional magazines, and recently awarded One in a Million Realtor award by Philadelphia's Carl Dranoff of Dranoff Properties. All right, with all that said, Kristin, welcome to the show.
Hi, Keith. Thanks for having me.
And Kristin, if we could start for our listeners, what led you into real estate? Was it something you always knew you wanted to do, or did you maybe stumble into it?
No, not at all. In fact, I stumbled into it. I was relocating from Chicago to Philadelphia. My husband and I worked with two different realtors who were both great to buy our first place. And I actually enjoyed the process and got into it as a hobby. And then over time, it became my full-time profession.
And do you think you could talk a little bit about what personal attributes, traits, and qualities you think have most contributed to the success that you've had in real estate?
Absolutely. There are about 3 or 4 main attributes. I think number one, I've always been committed to education and becoming an expert, or as much as I can become an expert in any given area. So whether it's real estate finance, investments, luxury homes, I've really gone out of my way to educate myself and those around me to offer the best quality service. Number 2, I've always been incredibly responsive, and I never had to teach myself that. At the very beginning, I always had been very quick to execute a plan or to take action on anything. And so in terms of response time, which is what our clients are looking for, there's nobody faster, nobody more efficient than our team, the Daly Group. And then just in terms of mentoring and supporting those around me, I've really learned how to manage and help talent and other people get into the business over the last several years. So that's been a lot of fun to watch our business grow.
And do you think, give our listeners an example of when these traits have played a role in your path towards success?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, whenever we're in a competitive situation, many of our prospects will just off the cuff respond and exclaim about how quickly we've gotten back to them, how efficient we've been, how immediately we're able to answer their questions, maybe even before they know they have the questions that they're answering. That's something that we work really hard on, is obviously being that efficient. So we usually win in terms of response time, 10 out of 10.
And I think whenever somebody builds a successful business or a career, that sometimes the path to get there is filled with bumps in the road along the way. Can you talk about some of the adversities and trials that you've had to overcome in order to achieve your goals?
Absolutely, and that's accurate. We've been in the business for 10 years, and I would say getting into the business, I mentioned that I'd gotten into the business as a hobby, and then it became my full-time profession. And I really, starting off, I was competing with people who had been in the business a lot longer than I had. And in order to compensate for that, what I did is I just educated myself as much as possible. So I created a solution for it, which was, through education. And that's when I went to school at night and I obtained my broker's license, my Pennsylvania broker's license. And then, fast forward over time, I have a young family. So I have 2 boys, they're 3 and 5. And, in the brokerage business, you don't have a maternity leave. It just doesn't exist. You're running your own business. And so I think it was very difficult for me to keep my operations going, keep my business going, really protect my business while I was having my family. And I couldn't have done that without growing and establishing our team.
What kept you going despite these obstacles? Why didn't you give up? What was your driving force?
It's an interesting question. I don't really know. I strive for knowledge. I strive for creativity and interest in my life. I love problem solving. I love helping people around me. I love what I do. I love the real estate brokerage business. And I also love how it applies to my financial stability, my financial wealth building possibilities, and how I might be able to create a legacy for my family, my kids, my grandchildren, and those around me too. So I just love what I do, and so it's not difficult to motivate oneself when you love what you do.
And looking forward, what's your vision for your business and your career over the next 5 years?
Looking forward, I'm really excited. This year, we're hoping to double our business. We closed about $40 million in real estate brokerage volume this year. We're hoping to close $100 million in Center City, Philadelphia next year. We currently have a team of 10, and we're hoping to double or triple that number over the next year. I'm growing my coaching and mentoring business. I just became an accredited coach within our Keller Williams brokerage nationally. So that's really exciting. And then on a personal level, I'm working on some financing solutions so that my family and I can continue to grow our investment portfolio that will just help us diversify. So I'm really excited about 2017 and beyond.
And I guess kind of on top of that, what do you feel is the best way you market yourself as a real estate professional so that you can have continual growth?
Great question. One attribute that I think we display through social media marketing is just optimism, positivity, and our team just exudes a love for the business, a true respect and genuine appreciation of each other, and the opportunity to work with our clients. So we do a lot in real time. We do video. We offer social media through, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram. Our handle is Philly Luxury. And then, of course, we use Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. Our experience is very robust. So we can talk with first-time homebuyers. We can speak with investors. And we can also, work with complex transactions that may be estate-related or, luxury buyer or seller as they're also managing their own lives, which could be very complex. We always take professional photos of our properties that we work with, but also of our team. So because we do so much on social media, we want to keep all of our photos at highest possible quality. And we also want to keep everything fresh. We believe in, kind of real-time, on-demand information, and also the best representation of ourselves.
And I think sometimes when the general public looks at real estate agents, they don't fully understand the value they provide from both a buyer and a seller standpoint. What do you think the biggest misconception or myth people have about working with a real estate agent?
That's an interesting question as well. I've given it a lot of thought over the years. And for us, what we see with the type of client we work with, and again, we work with a lot of people who are relocating, who have busy professional lives, busy family lives, and they're very accomplished within their own careers, and they've really just checked all the boxes on the applications that they may be submitting. And I think that they sometimes feel like a real estate investment for personal or investment use is something that they can do on their own. And that's the biggest misconception, is trying to take on the project of finding a home or finding the right investment for you on your own. There are too many opportunities to be aware of. There are too many lessons learned and too many kind of efficiencies that you can take advantage of by using a real estate broker.
And let's say you get a call from a family member or a friend, and they're in another state and they want to sell their home. Now, obviously, with your experience and being part of Keller Williams, you could easily look up an agent and do a referral. But from a general advice standpoint, what advice would you give them about selecting an agent that could best serve their needs?
Great question. First of all, I would likely be selecting that agent for them. I would likely be vetting at least 1 to 3 agents for them to make sure that, number one, they have the right personality and availability for my particular family member. Number two, that they were accomplished, that they're experienced, that they've been in business for several years and can document that through testimonials and references. And if they're newer to the business, hopefully, they're being mentored by a team leader who has been in the business and can offer them that experience. And then number three, just they can document the proven work in the type of property that my family member wants to buy.
Now, obviously, you're based in the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area. And if somebody's looking for real estate services or an agent in that general area, what's the best way they can find out more information about you and how you can help them?
One of the best ways you can find out more about me, Kristin Daly, and our team, the Daly Group at Keller Williams, is by going to Instagram. On Instagram, through the hashtags, the Daly Group and Daly Luxury Homes, you can see what we're all about. You can also find us at Philly Luxury. That's our Instagram handle. You can find us on Facebook through the Daly Group. And then you can connect with all of our team members on Facebook as well as Instagram. And we're all incredibly responsive. So you'll get to learn all about us.
Excellent. Well, obviously, Kristin, we want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come here today and share all your professional real estate experience with our listeners. And if you're listening and you want to learn more about Kristin, like you said, you can look her up on Instagram, Facebook. Also below this interview, we'll have a link to her site and any other contact information we have so you can see how she can help you with your real estate needs. So with that said, everybody, until our next show, have a great day and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.